He's aging, man. Hallelujah. What? Like, I cannot believe yesterday I literally said, I think Rosenior might actually keep his job. Literally less than 12 hours of posting that video, find out he's gone. Yeah, man. Look, I just think that Chelsea are in a weird position, but I think they might have done it on the back of actually Iraola's, announcement that he's going to be leaving Bournemouth, because I think that's almost like you're getting someone on a free. You don't have to take them out of, you don't have to pay compensation to get them out of their current job. And he's a Prem proven manager as well. I think he can come in and do a good job at Chelsea. I'm not going to lie to you, but I think we have to look and just take it back to, this 6.5 year contract that was given to Rosenior. He's seen about 3 months of it, which is absolutely insane. And look, I discussed all the sort of Blueco stuff in yesterday's video. So if you haven't watched that, go watch that. So I don't want to recap any of that, but I just think it's a bit mental, isn't it? Where Chelsea are, where they are in their trajectory. What is their plan? Do they have a plan? Because right now, handing out these 6.5 year contracts to managers is insane, and then sacking them 3 months in. Rosenior came out saying he thinks he still has the backing of the board. I think every manager says that, to be honest with you. But I think, look, the writing was on the wall when you got people like Cucurella and Enzo Fernandez talking about Maresca or leaving the club and things like that. And it's just noises you don't want to hear when, especially in the position you're in, where you've gone 5 games without scoring a goal and losing every one of them. And now you're in free fall almost. And look, Chelsea have put in a caretaker manager. I think it's their under-21s manager has kind of gone in to the end of the season. So they're not going to bring someone in like De Zerbi at Tottenham, last minute. They're going to wait until the summer. And that's why I think they're going to get Iraola. And I just think that might actually be just a really good choice, and it would be really good for the younger players, because we've seen what Iraola has done with younger players at Bournemouth, how he's developed them, and it might actually suit Chelsea's model in terms of developing and selling on, because Bournemouth do that a lot, and it looks like the Chelsea hierarchy kind of want to buy players like wonder kids when they're cheap and then hold their resale value or improve that resale value. And I think that's what's going to happen. What I don't get though is you've still got this mess of a team. You still have to address certain aspects and certain positions and whatnot, and really build a foundation in terms of what's going to be your team. If Enzo wants out, he's one of their main players, but you wouldn't want to build around a guy who wants out, right? Is Cole Palmer, what's his position in the team? Does he want to stay? He's come out saying he wants to stay, but you've got, I don't know, you need to build the foundations of a team before you start building a squad. And I feel as though they haven't got the spine of their team now. Who is their actual spine of their team? You don't know who their centre backs are. Their keeper's dodgy. You centre mids, you got Caicedo and, like I said, Enzo, but Enzo might not be there. You got Cole Palmer in the attacking mid position. Yeah, he's hit or miss this season. And then you've got up front as well, which still has question marks. Even though João Pedro has come in and done very well, he's not a number 9 by trade, and Delap just doesn't cut it right now anyway. And it's weird because I thought Delap was actually going to be a really good player for Chelsea. I was jealous when he chose Chelsea over Man United, because when I saw him at Ipswich, I was like, he's got something about him. But look, he hasn't had... The thing is, no one's really performed that well at Chelsea. Let's be completely real with you. There's a handful of players that have. So it's always hard to go in and hit the ground running as well. But I don't know, where does this leave Chelsea? Rosenior, look, I think he was never the right man. I know this sounds bad, but the way he looks, with his big glasses and stuff, he looks like he's forcing it. He looks like someone with small man syndrome. I don't even know if he is small, but when they're just forcing it, and you're just like, bro, you don't seem like you're like this. Some of the quotes, look, I mentioned at the start, the aging men quote, what the hell does that mean? He said about, my players want to respect the ball when they huddle around the ball in the centre circle and stuff. He said that's the players are set to doing that, blah, blah, blah. There was even some outros that I saw where Cole Palmer was watching him in an interview, and he tried to have bants with him, but I feel like there was no bants there. And then there was another one where I think Chalobah's conducting an interview, and Liam Rosenior comes in with his little backpack on, and he just gives a lot of try hard energy, which I just think you shouldn't have as a manager. As a manager, you need a bit of stature about you. You need something about you where people are a bit oh shit, a little bit scared. He comes he's trying to be one of the lads, and I that's the vibe I got. Look, I think it's I think it's the right move because he was never the guy for the job. But I actually feel kind of like bad for him though, because at Strasbourg in France, he was actually doing pretty well. And I think the fans actually liked him as well. Like he seemed to be building something there quite, quite steady and consistent. And he was moved out of that position by the ownership group to then take over at Chelsea. Or it felt like it wasn't, it almost like he didn't have a choice on the matter because it's under the same ownership group. So I do feel a bit bad for him because I'm like, where does he go from here? I'm assuming he'll get a job, but I don't know, man. I just think his personality and the way he comes across just is so cheesy to me. Like, if he was my manager, I would never listen to. I'd be like, what the hell is this guy saying? But look, I think Chelsea as a whole, yeah, you don't know where they're going to end up, genuinely. And I'm saying this because we had Leeds United 20 years ago who were competing in semi-finals for the Champions League, and it took them so long to try and just even get back into the Prem, and then they got relegated again, and now they're back again. And I mean, that was more financial driven. And I think Chelsea right now have the finances, but the way that they have their outlays and their contracts lined up, if they don't perform on the pitch, then you might see financial trouble. And that's where you might see the owners also looking to get a buyer in. And that's when they should take Jim Ratcliffe. Go Jim. Jim, just go. But no, honestly, like it's been a weird 24 hours. But I think everyone expected it, right? The only thing I don't really understand is like, you're doing this now rather than just the end of the season. Like, especially if you didn't have anyone lined up already. Like with Spurs, for instance, they got De Zerbi in. By doing this now and getting an interim in, it's interims rarely have some of them can stabilize for a bit, but like, especially if it's like someone within the club, I think it's hard for them to really change results a lot of the time. We even saw it for like 2 games under Darren Fletcher when Amorim got sacked. Darren Fletcher did nothing, and he was literally same position, like coach of the manager of the youth team, comes up, steps in for a couple of games, did nothing. Then when we appointed a proper manager, like interim, in Mark Carrick, it's kind of worked better. And so that's why I mean, like even appointing like an external interim manager, and that doesn't always work. We saw what happened with at Spurs, but I don't know, man. It's just I feel like it's a bit weird sacking someone this close to the end of the season, like 5 games left. Like they've got a semi-final to play for in the FA Cup, which he got them there. So, well, yeah, no, he did get them there. So he should at least have a chance of winning a trophy, in my opinion, with that, because that was on him. But yeah, kind of mad. And let's just briefly discuss. Obviously, we had Man City last night go top with a 1-0 win at Burnley. Had a massive XG, like over 3 XG, and only scored 1. One thing, I didn't watch the game, but I saw a few highlights, and it seems as though people were saying that they really missed Rodri's like sort of progression from the middle of the pitch, and they thought Cherki was kind of too slow on the ball. But it was an opportunity. I mean, Burnley are now relegated as well, but it was an opportunity for City to really get their goal difference up, and I think they missed out on that. Now, look, I still think they have a bigger chance than Arsenal to win just because of history. But at the end of the day, like City need to be better in these teams, especially in a title race. But yeah, look, they've gone top, which is just funny because Arsenal, low-key, are bottling it again. But yeah, that's the story for another day. Anyway, please remember to like, share, comment, subscribe. I do daily videos on this channel, so yeah, keep it locked. And yeah, let me know what you want to see. I was planning on doing a snooker video today, but obviously this happened. So I will be doing a snooker video in the coming days because it's a snooker world championship. But yeah, anyway, peace.